Well, last day, let's see if the energy is still there. I can imagine your brains are full, but I promise to make it worse the next couple of minutes. So, I am Esmira. I've been leading DevOps teams for the past 8+ years at different organizations, including US federal space companies. And today I want to talk about something that doesn't get said enough at FinOps conferences. It's about how FinOps-Mature DevOps leaders do things differently. So before I start my talk, I want to ask a question. Raise your hands if ever at the end of months, any of you saw a surprise cloud bill. Like, that's what I thought. So that's what we're gonna dive. And also the new hot topic, token economics, is the new hot like cloud bill topic. So um, actually we did some analysis on more than 23,000 Kubernetes clusters recently. And guess how much CPU out of everything we spin up, how much CPU actually gets used? Like how much CPU we use in percentage? Can someone guess? 20? No. 12? Very close. 8. Only 8%. How about memory? Any idea of memory? How much memory we use? It's 20% memory of everything we pay for and we spin up. And the new hot topic, GPU, how much GPU is used in organizations out of everything we pay for? These numbers are going to surprise you, only 5%. And by the way, this is not fluff. It's on CastAI's website. You can download the report and have a look. So it's crazy, right? How much waste happens. Now, let's look at what immature DevOps leaders do that this is happening. So the real problem is not the cost. It's not the bill, actually. It's them putting cost as finances problem. Now, the bill only gets reviewed at the end of the month, right? At the retroactives, when it's already spent, it's already gone. And then they start asking a question, why this bill is up, but it's at the end of the month. It's already too late. And then they start toggling. Is it finances problem? Is it engineering's problem? And again, more dashboards, more info, and then the results are going to be the same. What mature DevOps leaders do? So for them, cost is everyone's problem. Engineering never leaves the room, right? When these cost discussions are going, but there is one rule to that. No blame culture. If engineering gets blamed when they're in the room, that's the end of the conversation. So from early on, engineering owns the outcome. And then they ask better questions and no more data, no more like dashboards, just real results. Three things I always notice when throughout all these years leading DevOps teams, three things I noticed in all mature like engineering teams. They always own the outcome. What this means is no reports, no dashboards. They answer. Did we deliver the value? And the most important question is, what did we ship per dollar? Yeah, this is the next one, that they change the question from why this bill is up at the end of the month. When it's too late, they say, what did we ship per dollar, as I mentioned? And they don't make it political, meaning engineering gets no blame. They're just in the room because when other metrics are not performing well, for example, latency, do we blame finance? We don't, right? It's on engineering. So why cost is should be finance's problem? It has to be solved together. Now, here we will compare why FinOps stalls in most organizations. First one is for immature teams. So retroactive cost reviews is when, as I mentioned, cost gets reviewed at the end of the months when it's already too late. But weekly team visibility, then you have no surprises. Blame without context. Well, we said no blame culture, but blaming without context is also like not a good thing. So there should be a clear answers to what we have shipped first, and then cost comes to the topic second. And then no ownership at the team level. We have all probably, if you're part of any engineering team, we have all been there. We have to name the owners per service, per workload, and that's the only way to go. Now, the hot topic, token economics. So, guys, token costs are just the new cloud waste. And we have been there. This is not new. It's just the understanding of tokens are new. So, most teams pick a model once, over provision GPUs, and absorb the cost. So, we actually had this pain internally at Cast AI. And what we did at one of our internal hackathons, we came up with a cool idea or tool called kimchi. Like, Tim was sitting and having some Japanese lunch, and they liked the kimchi. They're like, okay, let's call it kimchi. so, um, so for that, what did each agent call actually accomplish? This should be the real question. This is the same question mature engineering leaders asked for cloud. Now we're asking same question for the AI. And the leaders who got the FinOps right on Kubernetes or on cloud are the ones like it's us here in this room who want to get ahead of things. And like in 2015 or like 2017, when people started seeing inflated like cloud bills and asking why this is so high, we are here to prevent that. That we don't ask why this AI bill or token bills are so high. Now, I wanted to compare, but like, let me see how much time I have. Yeah, I have time. Okay, so in the cloud era, we used to like measure cost per VM, cost per GB, and then per request. Solved with tagging allocation, right? Was easy. We figured this out. And now in the early AI stage, what we do, cost per API call. This is what we need to pay attention to. And then right now, yeah, of course, we have the problems that no visibility per task, no value signal. Same mistake again that we did years ago with the cloud. And mature AI FinOps leaders sitting in this room, they will pay attention to cost per outcome, token efficiency needs to be tracked, and model routing by value. That's their target. Now let's look at the history a little bit. Remember back in 2015, 19, when everyone was moving from on-prem to cloud? Everyone was so excited, everyone was migrating, but nobody thought about the cost, right? Nobody thought that it's gonna turn into a snowball in a couple years. So cloud spend exploded, no ownership, and then finance at the end of the month got the surprise bills, and then engineering is so busy building. They always say they always leave it as a technical debt. They're like, okay, we will figure this out. Like right now, let's build. Like, we will figure this out later. And then, of course, it ended up with this inflated. Now, 2020 and 23, the FinOps starts maturing, and unit economics defined at the organizations, ownership assigned, and the cost became a real metric. Now, what is happening now, 2024 and forward? AI spend is the next hot topic, right? You have, I don't know how many sessions you have attended, probably you heard it every other session. So token budget's undefined right now. No ownership per model and no value signals per call. Now, guys, one question when you go back home to your teams on Monday or any day. Are we tracking the cost or are we tracking the value? I think this is what you need to pay attention to. And then if no one can answer what a single dollar bought, then it means your FinOps is not mature yet. And then if cost reviews are finance's job, then you haven't built the ownership yet. So, but then if you haven't asked about the AI spend, you should have done it yesterday, but it's not too late. Now it's the time. On Monday when you go back to work, that's what we're gonna do. And well, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it. And then let's connect. If you wanna hear more about the report I mentioned earlier, just come find me or connect on LinkedIn. Thanks a lot.
Hey everyone, producer Andrew here. Thanks for watching. Check out the rest of our channel for more FinOps content. Like, subscribe, and leave questions and comments for our speakers. We appreciate your support.